Hi, I'm Lita Leapin.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
Welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we're already into Lita late July. My goodness, the summer's rolling by. We're back here in the Cabana Lounge at Hydra Restaurant in the Exchange Hotel.
Yes, and we've got a lot to cover in this episode, so let's get right to...
Oh, my turn. Our City Tonight.
This segment is sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
Well, every once in a while, a book comes across your desk that is very unique, and I was grabbed from page one. That is the case with the book by Laura Carney called My Father's List, How Living My Dad's Dream Set Me Free. And it's a great pleasure to welcome the author of that book, Laura Carney. Laura, hello there.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I am excited to have you. As I mentioned, you had me at page one with this book. I can't claim this line. I heard a journalist say to you, and I found this apropos, is the book is a dream come true that you got it done, but it was born of a nightmare. You pick it up from there and the story behind My Father's List.
Thank you. Yeah, so my father was killed by a distracted driver, a teenager making a phone call when I was only 25. And I didn't really fully comprehend at that age how to cope with the grief and also over the trauma of that event. So I sort of just kept going, and I leaned on my boyfriend, who's now my husband, who got to meet my dad one time, thank goodness. And from that point forward, I really just became almost a workaholic. I just thought, I just want to seem like a normal adult, even though this very extraordinary thing has happened to my family. And by the time I was 35, I discovered advocacy, and I started working with safe driving groups to try to help people understand why this phenomenon has become so enormous. And eventually, when I got married, I felt so much better about my dad not being there to walk me down the aisle, because I turned my journalism into that advocacy and used the platform I'd built. By then, I was working in national magazines in America. And basically, 6 months after I walked down the aisle, my brother made the most extraordinary discovery, which was it turned out to be my dad's bucket list, and we didn't even know he had one. And as soon as we saw it, my husband said exactly what I was thinking, which was, this is your book. This is how you're going to honor your father. And, you know, hopefully maybe raise some awareness too.
It's so interesting because you take this bucket list on. Your dad writes it when he's 29, I believe, and you and your brother go, okay, he accomplished 6 so far, and you look at it, and it's such an amazing list, because every one you tackle that I read about in your book, it comes with some background about yourself and the struggles that you went through, and it's everything from skydiving, of course, bucket list stuff, but it's also like, you know, planting watermelon seeds or driving a Corvette and the meaning behind that. Tell our viewers a little more about the journey that you went on, because everything you check off has something behind it, including what I found remarkable that involved the former president, Jimmy Carter.
Sure. You know, as I said, when I started my mission to finish the list for my dad, it was something I was setting out to do to honor him and also to maybe raise awareness. I didn't understand at the time the level at which I was sort of repressing grief and wasn't dealing with it. So one thing I started discovering as I did each one of these list items was that it was healing me. I have a really great friend who lives in Canada, and he said with every single list item, I was leaving another piece of baggage behind. So as I'm learning how to, not really learning, but remembering how to have fun with my dad on each of these dreams that he had, you know, like grow a watermelon, which I thought I was going to fail at because I worked in the city and I never grew anything, and it turned out to work out. And, you know, like talk with the president, that one actually was accomplished with the help of my Canadian friend. His name is Arthur Milnes, and he was a speechwriter to your prime ministers. And we just by happenstance ended up at the hotel at the counter in Plains, Georgia, at the very moment that Art had gotten there. And we befriended him, and we talked to him for 3 hours about Jimmy Carter in the parking lot. And the reason I was there to meet Jimmy Carter was because the list item said talk with the president, and he was president in 1978 when my dad wrote the list.
Also, I think, as you said, I mean, the title of the book about your dad's dream setting you free, you kind of rewrote the narrative, no longer the victim. and feeling the freedom. And I have to say, your book ends, I'm not giving anything away by any means, but I loved that in your epilogue, at the end of the book, you talk about the journey you're on and how it just seems to bring other people toward you and gravitate. And I look at things that people do to get through their grief. You meet a gentleman whose husband Nelson passed away suddenly, and so his journey is to not only go to where they had planned to go for their honeymoon, but he's going to try to visit every city named Nelson in America. Or you meet another gentleman who lost his son who plans to play catch. And you were part of this, play catch with like 300 strangers. I just found it so touching the way people deal with grief and try to pull a positive out of that, because you also said, I love this line, that there's an emotion more expansive than grief, and that is love.
Wow, I'm so impressed. You did your homework.
I could not put the book down. I had a lot of work that got pushed aside because I couldn't put this book down. But...
Yeah, well, you know, I wrote about love because that was my husband. He was my boyfriend at the time when my father died, and he helped me through it. He helped me survive it. Even though he had only known me 3 months, he knew this was an emotional process, that grief wasn't who I had become. It was a thing I was working through, and he knew that person who he fell in love with was still there underneath. And I really do think when someone dies in a tragic way, people become afraid. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. And really all you have to do is just be there and just make the person understand that I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I'm here. Like, just your very presence does it.
It is a lovely book, and I'm happy to say you informed me that I was wondering when it was coming out in Canada. It's out in the States, but that it's available on Amazon, and you said it's doing very well with Canadians. That's great to hear, Laura. The book is called My Father's List, How My Living My Dad's Dreams Set Me Free. Laura Carney, what a great read, Laura. I can't thank you enough for this, and more details, it's by lauracarney.com. Laura, thank you for taking the time to talk with us, and we wish you the best luck going forward in helping others through their grief.
Thank you so much. And I love Canada. I had to wear maple leaf red today.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
This segment was sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
Well, thanks for watching the show. We hope you're enjoying it. We just want to remind you to check out the latest version of Iconic Concierge magazine, where you can find the Our City Tonight column, available now.
Well, we have left our usual comfort spot, Lita, of downtown Vancouver. We got on the #1 and headed east for about an hour, and we find ourselves in the lovely town of Chilliwack with a beautiful pond right beside us.
Yes, and we are at the Coast Chilliwack Hotel by APA. Amazing place, really short drive to get out here, and the view from my room is just beautiful. It's this beautiful pond. I even saw their resident herons.
It's Kevin and my namesake Jimmy. Yes, oh, it's there. But we're also out here, as we often do on our show, to sample some cocktails and some food at the hotel's restaurant. It's Preston's Restaurant and Lounge. We're gonna head inside first with Lita and check out some great cocktails.
Samir, some beautifully colored cocktails in front of us. Preston's Restaurant and Lounge, you said this whole place has been here for 14 years, so they definitely have their craft down to a fine art. These are specifically crafted for the summer, so we want to dive right in and find out all about them. They look like artwork.
Yes, they are. So this is our Coast Purple, and it is called the Empress Amethyst. Yeah, and this is a classic martini with some Empress gin, triple sec, some dash of water, simple syrup, and lime juice.
Sounds wonderful. That sounds like a perfect summer cocktail to be sipping on your beautiful patio there, right in the lagoon. Next one, this is kind of a classic.
This is a classic. It's a margarita on the rocks with some tequila, triple sec lime mix, and then rim the rock glass with some kosher salt. and then mix the drink together.
Delicious. That must be a very popular one, especially as now it's heating up here in Chilliwack. The last one, the prettiest one, I have to say, for the last here.
That is correct, and it is crafted by one of our staff here at the hotel, and it is called Hello Kitty. With some Malibu rum, raspberry sourpuss, pineapple juice, and splash of 7-Up.
Oh, that sounds perfect. And Malibu rum's kind of making a comeback again.
Yes,
a lot of people are using it, and I was laughing because I used to drink that in university, so I'm dating myself, but it's nice to see it's back and people are enjoying it again. Some of the other things available in the lounge area, you have some live music.
Yeah, so lounge hosts live music every Thursday, 6 to 9 p.m.
Wonderful.
And it's one of the favorite of Chilliwack.
Oh, must fill up this patio, and you've got a beautiful patio on the lagoon. I can imagine sipping a cocktail and listening to great music right outside there.
And having this amazing view as well.
Absolutely,
Right?
and your heron too visiting.
Yes,
Kevin or Jimmy, whichever you prefer.
Yes.
So Preston's Restaurant and Lounge has some great offerings here, but we're going to take a look later on in the show at some of the great food you have on the menu for Preston's Restaurant.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Each bambino sings Dino for miles around, twirls his girl around and round to that happy sound.
Well, what you're looking at is some great video of the new CD, Swing Streets, as we continue our spotlight on singer-songwriters, musicians from around the world. It is a great pleasure and a thrill for me to welcome Dina Martin, daughter of one of the great entertainers of the 20th century, Dean Martin. She's joining us. Dina is from her studio where she does her show every Friday. We're going to get into that. Dina, first of all, welcome to our city tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. I mean, this is exciting. I love Canada.
It is exciting for me, too. You know, I have to tell you, for someone who's been in show business a lot of years, you are extremely active. I mean, your website, social media. And as I said, we're getting you just before you're going to head back into that room behind you and record your Friday afternoon show, which people can see on your website, on YouTube, and on Twitter after the show. It's dinamartin.com. You do a great show every Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. West Coast time. Tell our viewers about that show.
Well, it's Dina Martin Live, and the one today that we're doing is 171.
Well done.
Okay, unbelievable, 171. So we've kept our musicians busy through the whole pandemic and everything. And that's how it started. Actually, I had a lot of shows that I had to cancel, over 3 years ago when that all happened. And I said to my assistant, I said, Rosario, what am I going to do? I have to, call these people or whatever. She said, why don't you do a live show, like a Facebook Live show? I said, what is that? So we took my iPhone, put it on a tripod, right in my rehearsal room, right behind us here. And, I was in flip-flops and I sat down on my chair and I sang, because I have all of my music that I record and I have it without my voice. So my handsome husband, John, is the one who does the music. And I tell her, some jokes and we get comments, people they're watching it live because it is live. And, when I make mistakes, well, they're there forever. and it's great. So I have all, fabulous music and I sing. And as I say, I tell jokes and I can actually communicate with them as I'm doing it. And Rosario is over there and she's with all the comments and she'll say, Norma Lockley's on the phone and she's watching and it's her birthday today. I go, oh, okay, well, happy birthday. So it's live, it's fun, and it's all over the world.
You were up front and close with your parents and your dad and all he did, and for a guy that has always been kind of looked at as, oh, he didn't like working and everything, gosh, he was busy. But you saw everything up front. You were on his show. I think the first time I ever saw your father was on that landmark 1967 Christmas special. I was a wee lad, but my parents let me stay up to watch it. So you've seen show business, the good and the bad. Talk about some of the things that you learned from your dad and your mom.
Well, what I learned from my dad, of course, and my mom, they were incredible. Always be on time. You're no more special than anybody else. Always be there, be early. Know all your lines, know the lyrics, and just be there. And he did. Here's what's cute about my dad. He said, And when you leave, I have people say that was, she was great. She wasn't a jerk. That's how my dad was. He was just down to earth. But he always told me, definitely be there, know what you're doing. And if you make a mistake, go back and do it again. See, now the thing is, on his show, on the Dean Martin TV show, which was unbelievable, and you mentioned that Christmas show with the Sinatras and the Martins, and it was so much fun, because, Tina is my girlfriend, Nancy is my girlfriend, Frank Jr., we all grew up together, so we all sang, and it was a big Christmas special.
What really warms my heart is that you embrace everything that your dad was. You've carved out clearly a very successful career for yourself, but every time I hear you singing one of your dad's songs, it puts a smile on my face. So it's been a great pleasure. I mentioned you off camera. I was lucky enough to see your dad twice in concert, and man, I just smiled the whole time he was on stage. So, and you can check out. We should mention again, Dina, every Friday, rain or shine, you're doing your show, Dina Martin Live, 1 p.m. our time. We're both on the West Coast here, of course. You can see it all on our website, dinamartin.com. You can check it out on Twitter after the show, Facebook, and Roku. It's all there. If you have not seen this woman, and Dina, I know that you'll be back out on tour, I'm hoping, now that you can tour again.
Yes, absolutely. And also, one thing, my memories are made of this album. It's the CD. We never put it on vinyl, but we're in the midst of doing that right now. And thank you for saying all those great things about, the incredible Dean Martin. He really was. And he was a good, he was just down to earth and funny. And that's what we all got, his sense of humor. And I think his timing.
Thank you, Dina. Take care.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Sponsorship and other promotional considerations provided by Bosa Foods, authentic Italian, with 2 locations to serve you better. More information, go to bosafoods.com.
We got a nice little surprise for everybody. We are here with our good friend Angus, and you've got some great news for us. The Parker Hotel, the 9th floor, has Parker Rooftop, and this is one of the most exciting, newest Vancouver spots.
Thank you so much.
You're the assistant general manager there, as well as the beverage director, am I correct?
Yep, the
beverage manager.
Yep, that's it.
And you are in charge of all the cocktails again. We're so happy to hear this. And you've got some special ones that are only available at the rooftop.
Parker Rooftop.
You're making them here at Hydra for us so that we can showcase them. So, okay.
I'm basically teasing all the rest of the guests here with something they can't get.
Torturing us all. At least we get to taste it. Let's start over there.
So starting with here, this is a drink, we're calling it the Kiwi Royale. It's a spin on a regular mojito, but it uses fresh kiwi fruit. It uses a green tea syrup. And instead of topping with soda water, we actually top this with champagne. Ooh. So we make it a lot more kind of decadent and fitting with what the Parker Rooftop, what we're trying to kind of embody with the space.
You have, it is designated a champagne bar.
Yes, so it's champagne, really high-end wines. We have a stunning cocktail program. The idea is to recreate that kind of New York, Seattle rooftop feel, but to everyone here in Vancouver.
With 3 patios, count them, 3.
3 patios, yeah. We have the main patio, and then we have 2 satellite patios, which act also as event spaces.
Wonderful.
So if you want to celebrate like graduation or a birthday, then these are available, and you can have your own private patio when you're there.
Perfect. Okay, next cocktail.
This one is called the Temptress. Ooh. So the Temptress, we were going for something that was just really decadent and up style of cocktail. This is a mixture of a rose petal infused gin with some chocolate liqueur, orgeat, fresh coconut water. I tried to create a recreate a Turkish delight, but adults only version. So that's where this guy came from.
Yes.
But yeah, this is called the Tentris.
Wonderful. Which one do you want to do next?
We can go for this
Okay.
one right here. So this is one of our favorite cocktails that we came up with. It's called the Coco Loco. And Coco Loco, this is an actual young coconut. Once you finish the cocktail, you're more than welcome to use the spoon, and you can have the coconut flesh inside.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's a spin on what's called a blackbird. It's a coconut blackbird. It uses golden rum, coffee liqueur, homemade demerara syrup. There's some coconut rum in there as well. It's an extremely tropical, slightly elevated tiki cocktail that we came up with.
Oh, delicious. Okay, the final.
This one finally is called Mosaic. So Mosaic, we were wanting to create a cocktail that has a gradient of color all the way through. It starts off blue, then it goes to clear, and then it goes to violet.
Beautiful.
That's from the Empress Gin, which is made in Victoria. It's also got Domaine de Canton ginger liqueur, which is this gorgeous ginger liqueur from France. Ginger beer, butterfly pea flower syrup, fresh cucumber, fresh mint. It's extremely vibrant, and it's also very refreshing as well.
Wonderful. Well, these are all available at the Parker Rooftop in the Parker Hotel. If you haven't been, you best get down there, and you get to say hello to Angus at the same time. Thanks, Angus, for being on the show again.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me back.
Right. Well, I hope you're enjoying the show. We just want to remind you, you can check out all past episodes of Our City Tonight on our YouTube channel.
And please, I got this wording right, subscribe as well as
Yes, you can like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel when we'd love to hear from you.
That's right. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Let's get back to the show. Back here at Coast Chilliwack Hotel by Appa. We're in the Preston's Restaurant and Lounge. Earlier in the show, Lita sampled some great cocktails with our GM right beside me here, Samir. Now we're going to check out some great food, and just two guys in suit jackets. I like this, midsummer. Yeah. I think we go to the same tailor, actually, I think. Hey, let's talk about some great food here, because you do have a great selection, a wide variety. Let's start down with this dish right beside me that is near a fork that I'm going to be using soon. You take it from there.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, as you're correct, we have a very diverse menu here at Preston's. So this here is called the steak bites. So this is Chilliwack's favorite, has been on our menu forever because our guests do not allow us to take it off the menu.
Really? Okay.
That is correct, yeah. So this is marinated certified Angus beef bits, tossed with hoisin sauce, garnished with spicy mustard sauce, and topped with crispy onions.
Okay. This will be going with me after we finish the interview. Oh, that's delicious. We're going to bypass the dessert and move over to, I would assume, another popular item here.
It is a popular item, but we do it on a yearly basis.
Oh.
So at the hotel, we have one of our chefs is originally from South America. So every year, in honor of his family, we actually do a South of the Border campaign.
Okay.
Which is done in August. It will be done in August of this year.
Right.
And this is one of the signature dish of that South of the Border campaign. These are al pastor tacos. Feature from upcoming South of the Border promotion, as I said, braised pork shoulder, 6 hours in authentic toasted and pureed chili herb and secret spice mix.
Oh, that's fabulous. And as you said, not around all year, so when they are available on the menu, people come running.
You have to come in and grab them. That is correct.
What is this dish you have here?
Coast Hotels and Preston's Restaurant is very much behind being a refreshing local theme. So this salad is actually based on and inspired from the Salish Pond, which is right next to the Preston's Restaurant.
Yeah.
So this is the Salish salad bowl. Quinoa salad bowl with a fresh burst of summer vegetables, chipotle avocado dressing, and drizzle of green goddess. And actually, some of the ingredients in this bowl is from our own chef's garden. So on the patio, we have our own grown some vegetables as well, and we use them in the bowl.
Yes, okay. Diversity is clearly what you're after here on your menu. Let's talk about this last dish right here.
So this last dish here is a curry chicken with naan and basmati rice. All right. No introduction needed to curry chicken and basmati rice, but homemade curry sauce served with tandoori chicken, naan bread, and basmati rice on this dish.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should also mention that although it's not in front of us here, in a little while you're going to be doing a little barbecue thing. Of course, we're going to be a part of that. We're going to be eating here tonight. You have a barbecue special on your wonderful patio a couple nights a week, 3 nights a week?
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights, every week we do a barbecue night on our patio as well. Yeah.
Very nice. Also, you mentioned earlier too, you've also got other specialty nights as well. You got a great thing for the kids. Let's remind our viewers.
We have a kids movie night every Sunday night. So basically, you can bring your kids in. Kids can enjoy their own R&R time in one of our meeting spaces, and parents can have a margarita or a cocktail on our patio.
Very nice. And also, you are open. We don't have any breakfast items out here right now, but you are open for breakfast. Once you let our viewers know about the hours of operation.
So breakfast hours from 6:30 to 11 every morning. We serve an a la carte menu as well as a buffet for breakfast, and then dinner we have open every day from 3 o'clock onwards till 10.
As to say to our viewers, it's a very popular place. It's empty right now because they're closed, but they're getting ready to open and customers are waiting to come in. Let's talk about this last beautiful, delicious looking dessert dish.
So that's a lime ice box, no bake layered dessert made with condensed milk, lime juice, lime zest, and graham cracker, and topped with whipping cream and dehydrated lime. So a lot of focus on freshness and lime there.
What a fabulous menu, and thank you for hosting us here. We are making a real concerted effort to get out to the cities of the Lower Mainland where our viewers live. We are here with Samir. He's the GM of Preston's Restaurant and Lounge in the Coast Chilliwack Hotel by Appa. Thank you for hosting us, sir.
Thank you, Jim.
Come check this great place out in Chilliwack.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Well, back here in the Cabana Lounge at Heater Restaurant in the Exchange Hotel to wrap up this edition of the show.
Very sad that we have to go.
Oh, we are. Boy, the next edition will be when?
In August.
Wow, summer's flying by. We've got to get downstairs to the wine bar downstairs to enjoy a glass of wine because the show's over. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
While in Chilliwack, Our City Tonight stayed at the newly renovated Coast Chilliwack Hotel by Appa, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Chilliwack. Don't forget to check out past episodes and individual interviews, all on the Our City Tonight YouTube channel.
The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.